Honey, she's going to be called. Now, Honey is what she is, a little honey. She just wants making sure that she does as she's told, and we play with her at this stage. And when it comes to retrieve, don't forget, as I was saying to Brian earlier on, we don't want to make it a big traumatic thing. We want it to be pleasure for her. So we'd only do it an occasional time. We get over here, good girl, honey, come on, little girlie, good girl, come on, come on, fetch. Good girl. No, you're not going to retrieve it. Come on, what's this? Good girl, good girl. What are you? Woody, 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 woody. She doesn't find that attractive. What we do, if she doesn't, we wouldn't keep on and on and on. She will retrieve this, but she's just got something else to do. Good little girlie, good girl. No. Well, if you find that would be enough to try that. I'd swap for something like a pine cone or any little fluffy thing, something attractive to her, anything she'd like to pick up. And as soon as you picked it up, call her to you, good girl, the lovely girlie, hey, good girl, hey. It's only because she's come here, she doesn't live here, and she's going, oh, this is a new place. You should always make allowances for these things. Difficult sometimes, but when they're at home, in their own home environment, he's going to pick it now, look. Good girl, good. Come on, Abby, witty, 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 witty. Good girl, good little girl. Come on, Abby, come on. Good girl, good girl. See, exactly that. Just quietly assess whether she thinks she's going to chuck it out of her mouth and, oh, I'm fed up with this now. But just keep talking to her. Get her to come to you rather than you clutching for, oh, I'm going to get that, I'm going to get that. Just get her to come to you. Make yourself as attractive as possible. Whee, good little girl. She wants it again now, but the best thing to do now is not to let her have it again. Put it in your pocket, and a bit later on, take it out again. When they're like babies, these, they can only go for short spells and then they want to sleep. Grandpas are like that a bit too sometimes, I've found, or I've been told. Good little man. This is Breck. Breck's 4 months old. He has a brother, Rory, which I'll show you in a moment. They're quite similar. We're just starting to get him to walk without pulling on a slip lead. Slip lead we find invaluable. They've just a little wringle on one way, and we can keep it in our pocket and we can take it out whenever we like. It's always there, useful, doesn't take up a lot of space. But the important thing is that when he pulls away from us, it goes tight. When he comes back towards us, when we give him a little jerk, it goes slack. We're never ill-treating the pup. We don't want the pup ever to think that there's anything other than the most pleasurable thing in the world when he's out with us. But what we do, we start off, as we always do, with a pup on a lead. We encourage all the things we want and discourage all the things we don't want. This lead must never ever be tight. If it goes to pull tight because he pulls forward or back or out to the side, we're to give it a sharp little jerk and quite firmly and quietly tell him heel. And as soon as he comes into us, we keep walking on again and tell him what a wonderful chap he is. The important thing in all training is to let the pup think that they are doing what they would most like to do. It's up to us to make sure that what they would most like to do and be enjoyable also fits in with what we want. So you wouldn't work a pup like this on a lead or do things for a long, long spell because they would get bored just like a young child. Good boy, good boy, good little man. Heel. And what we're looking for, even at this stage, good boy, is not the pup walking along a bit in front of us or a bit behind, good boy. It's exactly by our knee. We're looking in all the work that we do at 110%. Good boy, good little man. It's very important that we get it as near right as possible because all training is taking the natural ability of the dog and channeling it in a direction that suits us. And it's example and repetition. The walking to heel is something that the dog obliges us with all the way through. So it's very, very important that we get that right. That's nothing to do with gun dog ability or anything, but it's part and parcel of what right through the dog's life will be a very important thing, because all the way through it's our dog We are not his person. And it's up to us to make sure that that's maintained. Good boy.